So hi and welcome to this another episode with me Arshi and एक और episode और एक और interview आपके लिए. I think बहुत सारे students जो CAT 2023 के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं उन सभी की list में सारे IIMs होते हैं और सबसे ऊपर जो है वो IIM अहमदाबाद होता है. पर उन सभी IIMs में जाने के लिए there is this one process which is just mandatory, that is CAT का एग्जाम. और उसकी प्रिपरेशन को लेके हम कितना ही अच्छा प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, हमारी प्रिपरेशन एवरेज चल रही हो, कंफ्यूजन हमेशा ही रहता है. एंड वी वॉच अ लॉट ऑफ वीडियोस अराउंड दैट. So if somebody with me, from IIM Ahmedabad, he himself has given CAT, or I think he'll be the right person to tell you that आप अपनी preparation कैसे plan कर सकते हो. हम इसको section wise discuss करेंगे. But before starting the episode, I want Divij to introduce to the audience. I think वो ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा and ज़्यादा they'll be able to understand that what we are going to discuss about. Yeah, over to you, Divij.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Archie, for talking me up. So about my introduction, right? Rather than going about the basic interview introduction of this is where I come from, I'll be very honest. Like, unlike although this image that you have that IMA ke liye you need to be from an amazing undergrad college. No. So I went to College of Vocational Studies. It's a college in Delhi University. It's a great college. I loved my life there. I studied economics there, but it's not probably an SRCC or a Stephens, right? So that's where I did my undergrad from. I learned a lot of things in life. वहाँ पे मेरी attendance 5-6% थी, and I used to just be in music. So that was my undergrad. Post which I studied for CAT. I put my heart and soul into it, and I got a good percentile, and then I went to IIM Ahmedabad. And throughout my life, right, I've been exploring a lot of different stuff. So you would find on my CV per se a marketing internship, and then a finance internship, then an internship in metals and mining, and then management consulting. So that's how my life has been.
Okay. तो आई मीन आई थिंक जिस भी एग्जाम के लिए, जिस भी कॉलेज के लिए स्टूडेंट्स प्रिपेयर कर रहे होते हैं, उसके जो पहला रास्ता है कैट का 2023 का, तो व्हाट डू यू सजेस्ट टू ऑल दोज एस्पिरेंट्स हु आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर कैट 2023? वी हैव दिस 3 सेक्शंस एंड आई जस्ट वांट यू टू इलैबोरेट कि वो तीनों सेक्शंस को किसी स्टूडेंट का कोई सेक्शन स्ट्रांग होता है, वो स्ट्रांग सेक्शन को वो कैसे मेंटेन कर सकता है, जो वीक सेक्शन है उस पे वो कैसे कर सकता है, क्योंकि उसके पास अभी भी टाइम है, so that he'll be able to write CAT and get into all these great IIMs out there. So yeah, over to you.
So actually very well put, right? Like there are two things, strengths and weaknesses. So for CAT, the like a caveat here is that what worked for me might not work for everyone. Everyone has to figure out what works for them. But what worked for me was two things: understand what my strengths are and build on them, but more so focus on the weaknesses to ensure that you meet the qualifying criteria. But by qualifying criteria, I do not mean 60 percentile in a section, right? If you're targeting IMA per se, the qualifying criteria would be 99 percentile, which might seem like a huge target, but it's not. So having said that, let's break it down into 3 sections. We go to verbal, quant, and LRDI. There's this, narrative going on that non-engineers struggle with quant, engineers struggle with engineering. So having interacted with people who've come to IMA, right, I've realized that this is not always true, but somewhat, yes, I agree with that. So if we take it section by section, right, first of all, for the first month, if you're joining any coaching or you started prep, the first thing that you can do is try to understand what you're good at. You will go to classes, you will understand कि यार ये verbal तो बहुत ही basic है, RC में 4 में से 3 तो सही हो रहे हैं आराम से. On the other hand, you'll feel like quant में geometry is going over my head. So identify what your strengths and weaknesses are. Then what I personally did was after a month I started taking mock tests. A lot of people are very scared कि अभी तो syllabus complete नहीं हुआ है, मैं mock कैसे ले लूं? But the truth is ये syllabus 10th standard में तुम complete कर चुके हो. This is essentially puzzles, basic math and basic English. Even if you take a mock, I remember I took my first 2 mocks 50-55 percentile आई थी, and I was like, instead of being all like अब कुछ नहीं होगा, I was like ठीक है, I'll take more mock. And that's how it built up, right? Even if you don't know the syllabus, you'll understand what kind of questions are coming in this, what sections you're naturally good at. For me, for example, I knew that time, speed, and distance comes naturally to me because I love physics bachpan se. So something like that you'll discover as and when you take more mock. So that was the overall strategy for me. Now that is what I'd say that people can start with. At least take 2 or 3 mock in a month, right? Initially to understand what you're doing, and then you'll understand that quant में again geometry नहीं आता, तो थोड़ा सा उस पे काम कर लो. Start reading books on that particular topic, and then you'll get better with it. On the other hand, if you've identified a strength, then ensure कि you will look at medium or harder level question, because then you'll build up your strength कि इसमें 100 percentile लानी है and बाकी दोनों में I'm okay with a 96, 97. So that is the mindset that I went through.
So my question is कि I think we talked in general about the overall things कि आप कैसे workout कर सकते हो, but बहुत सारे students ask in the comment section, जैसे जिनको verbal ability या reading VARC से related questions है कि मैं इसको कैसे strong कर सकता हूँ, तो हम ये section wise बात करते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं VARC की 24 questions होते हैं और आपके पास almost 40 minutes होता है VARC के लिए। तो जिन students का strong है उसको कैसे prepare करना, उसको कैसे आने वाले टाइम में उसको टिकट फॉरवर्ड ले जाना है, और जिसका वीक सेक्शन है ये वो कैसे प्रिपेयर कर सकता है?
ठीक है, आई थिंक इट seems like I'm old because मेरे टाइम में 3 hours का cat होता था, but now it's 2, right? But anyway, let's break it down into strong and weak people who think they're doing well in VRC. Let's look at the strong people first, right? So a strong people would on average, if an RC has 4 options, तो 2 या 3 सही कर रहे होंगे। So उनका है कि अब मैं ये 75% hit rate को 100% कैसे करूँ? So जब कोई क्वेश्चन करा है, कोई मॉक करा, उसके बाद you again look at the question, you will find कि 3 ऑप्शन सही थे, 4th वाला नहीं सही था। Now instead of looking at the right answer, आप RC वापस पढ़ो एंड उसके बाद आप देखो कि basis that अब मैंने बिना किसी टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट के आरसी पढ़ी है। नाउ डू यू फील लाइक योर आंसर इज चेंजिंग? इफ सो देन मे बी इट्स द टाइम प्रेशर दैट bogging you down. If that is not the case, the other thing could be that you're not able to understand the author's perspective. So sometimes you read something and then you make your own assumptions कि यही होगा, but that's not the case with RCs. जो भी लिखा है वो ही है, even if it says right that like something like Saudi Arabia is in India. Even if the RC mentions that, you will have to accept it as truth, even though it's not right. So that is how you can do it. You can reread without any time constraint, understand where you're going wrong. So that is the RC's part. Then there are other things as well. I'm not sure whether they're still there about para jumbles and all. That comes with practice. Like you do more and more and analyze. So overall, for strong candidates, it will be analysis. And again, if you look at the people who are not very good with verbal, there can be quite a few reasons, right? Perhaps they're very nervous and very scared of the verbal section, or they are not in the habit of reading quickly. They might be reading very slowly. So then you can pick up an additional thing, like you can start reading daily. You can start reading the newspaper. Like that is a very basic thing, a basic habit that you can develop in life, because that will help you in interviews as well. That will ensure that you pick up on your reading speed. So at least read. Like people generally, what happens is, if I like, let's just say football, right? I will only read about football. And football का article मेरे को 3000 words का पढ़ा मैं पढ़ लूँ. But if it's about philosophy, you will read 10 sentences and you will be like, what is this bakwas? And right, you move on. So through a newspaper, you will get exposed to different topics, and that will ensure that you are receptive to any kind of idea, which is what reading comprehension is. So that is what the weak candidate, I would not like to call them that, but that's what they can do. And then of course analysis is 100% there. वो तो आपको करना ही है. Another quick thing I forgot to mention in this, for the people who are comfortable, right? If you are nailing your hit rate, if your hit rate is essentially 100%, then the next step you can do is optimize for time. Then all these mock tests have an analysis of how much time you took on an RC and how much time is average and what is the topper taking. So honestly, what I've realized is the topper section professors who's taking it, तो आप उसको भूल जाओ, average को देखो. So above average, आप like are you an above average person in terms of time efficiency? Because if you're saving time on one RC, you can spend it on another. So this can be something that as you get more and more comfortable in way, you can also pick that up.
Okay. And what about DILR? Talking about DILR, 20 questions हैं और time limit जो है 40 minutes का है. तो इसको again we'll keep it short कि जो students जिनका ये फूटे है, strength है, जो students जिनका ये फूटे और strength नहीं है, वो कहीं ना कहीं struggle कर रहे हैं अभी भी, because ये होता है कि हर स्टूडेंट का कोई सेक्शन बहुत स्ट्रांग होता है, कोई सेक्शन वीक होता है, तो उनके लिए व्हाट इज योर सजेशन?
So actually, honestly, DILR was something I was very scared of, and that is also because जब आप पेपर देखते हो, बोर्ड्स की आदत हो जाती है कि मेरे को सारे क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करने हैं. वो मेंटालिटी छोड़ देनी चाहिए. Take 5 minutes, go through all the sets, and then identify what are easy, medium, and hard. The easy ones I'll take first, then I'll start doing them. Then I'll move on to the medium ones. Though that does two things: optimize for time, and then it also builds up your confidence. So this is during the CAT exam, right? What before? For DILR, there is no syllabus. You just go through as many questions as you can. Taking mocks regularly would help there. I think there is no distinction strong and weak here. It is just getting exposed to questions and then ensuring that you optimize for time and your confidence during the CAT.
So then we have this last section, which is QA. I mean, I think 22 questions and consist of 40 minutes. So I think time भी है, and ये बहुत सारे students का जो है वो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि I mean they always cry कि इसको कैसे करें. Especially you mentioned in the initial कि एक engineers हैं और एक non engineers हैं. जो non engineers हैं उनके लिए sections अलग हैं, हैं जो उनको easy या difficult लग रहे हैं, और जो non majority of cases में जो students आते हैं they have the same confusion. So इस पे क्या suggestion है? What you want to give it to the aspirants?
Again, similar thing, identify strengths and weaknesses क्या है. Quant can be divided into many sections, time, speed and distance. Then there is probability, then there is geometry and so on. Identify what your strengths and weaknesses are in the topic. Work on your weaknesses. Ensure that you can easily do the easy questions in the weak sections and in the strong sections, medium to hard. Now coming to taking the exam, I remember this beautiful example given to me by my quant teacher, which is like, just think of the quant section as your love life, right? इसी से प्यार में नहीं पढ़ना है. You just have to go date everyone one by one, see who fits your bill, and then decide to get into a relationship with them. Similarly, quant में take 10-15 seconds at max. फटाफट से देखो एक क्वेश्चन सही है, easy है, मैं कर लूंगा, कर लो. अगर नहीं हो रहा, leave them and then go ahead to the next question. I think that's what worked in quant for me. There is no pressure of doing all questions. Like I saw so many batchmates of mine who got 100% in quant. I remember I got 95. So 95 for IMA might not be very appealing, right? 95 में कैसे हो रहा है? But I will make up for that in my other strength, which is verbal. So similarly, you should take a call. Don't take stress about getting 100% everyone. Just optimize for your strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, so anything else you wanted to, suggest to the aspirants? I think I'm done with all my questions. One last suggestion, whatever you want to give.
It's just that a lot of aspirants think of stuff that has happened to them in the past. They think that shit, मेरा 10th का score यार 12th में तो 80% थी, undergrad तो बहुत ही बेकार हुआ है, my work ex is not from example big four, IMA तो गया. But that is not true, because the only thing that you have in your control now is CAT and post CAT your interview. So whatever has happened, right? It's something that you can't control. I would just say that focus on what you have in your hand. And I think that would be the easiest way for you to, even if not convert, right, at least get through these months of prep. Because the end result, again, is not something that you can 100% control. So just forget what has happened and just keep working at it and just do it with a smile. Yeah. CAT is something fun, to be very honest. कुछ नहीं है. You don't have to mug up anything. It's not like IS prep where you have to go through so many thick books, right? Basic है, मजे करो, करते रहो. So yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, Divish, for your time. It was fun interacting with you. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Ashwin.